Good day everyone, I'm Juliet Amparado. This is my educational video presentations of Human Behavior and Organization, Section 2FH. My topic is all about performance appraisals, feedback, and rewards. Performance appraisals. Performance appraisals deal with how organizations evaluate and measures its employee achievements and behaviors. It is an employee review by his manager where his work performance is evaluated and strengths and weaknesses are identified so that the employee knows his improvements areas. It is the right time to set new goals and objectives for the employees. Remember, the purpose of performance appraisals is to provide constructive feedback to employees, helping them understand their strengths and weaknesses and identified areas for improvements. By using specific measurable process like this, managers can provide employees with clear, actionable feedback that help them grow and develop in their roles. Purpose of performance appraisals. Effective performance appraisal system contain two basic systems operating in combination. First, evaluation system. The main is to identify the performance gap, if any. For example, salesperson's KPI or key performance indicators might be the average time it takes to resolve a customer complaint. And this system involves having employees evaluate their own performance and identified area for improvements. By encouraging employees to reflect on their own performance, organizations can help them take ownership of their development and identified areas where they need additional support or training. Feedback system. The main is to inform the employee about the quality of purpose of performance appraisals include first, judgmental orientation, focus on past performance and provide a basic for making judgments on which employee should be rewarded and how effective organizational programs like selection and training have been. A. Offer a basic for reward allocation like raise, promotions, transfers, layoff, and others. Letter B. Identified high potential employees. Letter C. Validate the effectiveness of employee selection procedures. Letter D. Evaluate previous training programs. And second, developmental orientation. Concern with improving future performance by ensuring expectations are clear and by identifying ways to facilitate employee performance through training. Letter A. Stimulate performance improvement. Letter B. Develop ways of overcoming obstacles and performance barriers. Letter C. Identify training and developmental opportunities. Letter D. Establish supervisor-employee agreement on performance expectation. Focus of performance appraisals. Performance appraisals must be focused on job performance, not on the performers. So, the focus of performance appraisals is to assess an employee's work performance, identified areas of strength and area that need improvement, and provide feedback to help them employee grow and develop in their role. For example, quality of work, evaluating the accuracy, truthness, and attention to detail in an employee's work. And quantity of work, assessing the amount of work an employee is able to complete within a given time frame. There are the three aspects of relevance in the context of performance appraisals which must be avoided. They are: first, deficiency. It happens when the evaluation does not focus on all aspects of the job. If certain job responsibilities are not considered, the evaluation is deficient. Second, contamination is happen when effective activities not part of the job responsibilities are included in the evaluation. This is the exact opposite of deficiency. And third, distortion. This takes place when an improper emphasis is given to various job elements. Types of performance appraisals. Self-evaluation method. Self-evaluation method. Self-evaluation is when the employee is asked to judge their own performance against predetermined criteria. First advantage is that the employee is allowed to give his input in his performance appraisals, and the company can use these self-appraisals along with the standard appraisals to give a more rounded employee review. Second disadvantage is that an employee may not be able to evaluate their own performance objectively, giving himself an artificially high performance grade and making the self-appraisals less value. Third, employee self-evaluations help to demystify the appraisals process and can provide interesting insight into gaps between employee and manager rating. Self-appraisals also help to ensure that employees have read and hopefully have analyzed every corner of their performance. Behaviorally anchored ratings skills bars. First has a list of criteria that an employee should work up to be a diligent worker. Second, this method is considered favorable as the evaluation is done on the basis of individual employee performance without comparisons. And third, it is a combination of the rating scale and critical incidence techniques of employee performance evaluation. This is an example of behaviorally anchored rating skills bar. The 360-degree approach. The 360-degree appraisals involve feedback of the manager, supervisor, team members, and any direct reports. It is a powerful development method and quite different to traditional manager subordinate appraisals. Such a 360-degree process does not replace the traditional one-to-one process. It arguments it and can be used as a standalone developmental method. Second, the 360-degree appraisals involve the appraised receiving feedback from people, name or anonymous, whose views are considered helpful and relevant. The 360-degree respondents can be the appraises peers, upline managers, exec, so subordinate staff, team members, other staff, customers, suppliers, any who comes into contact with the appraise and has option, views, reactions of and to the appraise. What a 360 feedback survey measures? First, 360 feedback measures behaviors and competencies. Number 2, 360 assessment provide feedback on how others preview an employee. Third, 360 feedback addresses skills such as listening, planning, and goal setting. And fourth, 360 evaluation focuses on subjective areas such as teamwork, character, and leadership effectiveness. What 360 feedback survey do not assess? First, 360 feedback is not a way to measure employee performance objective MBOS. Second, 360 feedback is not the way to determine whether an employee is meeting basic job requirements. 360 feedback is not focused on basic technical or job specific skills. Number 4, 360 feedback shall not be used to measure strictly objective things such attachment, attendance, sales cost, etc. Managements by objective MBO. Managements by objective is type of evaluation which fall under modern approach of performance appraisals. This method, often called MBO, is designed to include employees in the goal settings process and define success by measuring accomplishments against a clearly established set of objectives. Second, this method is simply clear and empowers employees in the goal settings process, but it disregards non-goal related success metrics. Forces distribution. Forces distribution is a form of comparative evaluation in which an evaluator rates subordinates according to a specific distribution. It is frequently applies to several rather than only one component of job performance. Second, it is primarily used to eliminate rating errors such as leniency and central tendency, but the method itself can cause rating errors because it forces discriminations between employees even where job performance is quite similar. Graphic rating skill. First, rating skill is probably the most common performance appraisals method. Second, graphic rating skill is then used to evaluate an employee in terms of success within a variety of areas, such as technical skill set, teamwork, and communication skills. Third, this method against points of simplicity and functionality, but it only works well if both managers and employees share that the same understanding of each point in this skill. For example, on a scale of 1 on team is an average performance given a min range rating or the lowest rating, or if the rating categories focus on traits rather than behavior. So, typical graphic rating skills. Table 5. Critical incident method allows supervisors to describe an employee's excellent or poor response to situations arising during the year in questions. This method gave answers open-ended, flexible, multidimensional, and respectful of context, but it also raises standardization and comparison. And if the incidents aren't recorded and discussed as they occur, a subject assessment mid-weeks or months later may have limited value. Third, comparisons analysis. Release on a graded that performance numerical values for each employee based on an established set of criteria. This method can be complex and labor intensive if done manually, but it also allows the kinds of apple and orange comparisons that often present philosophical challenges to HR managers who need to standardize evaluation method across groups of employees facing very different tasks. Ranking. Ranking method compare one employee to another, resulting in an ordering of employees in relation to one another. Ranking of team result in overall assessment of employees rather than in specific judgments about the number of job companies components. Also, ranking are able to compare employees across different groups. Second, AC method involves an evaluators write reports appraising an employee's performance, usually in terms of job behaviors and or results. The subject of EC appraisals is often justification of pay for promotions or terminations decisions, but EC can be used for developmental purposes as well. Improving performance appraisals. Here are more meaningful and effective ways of improving performance appraisals. First, make sure managers and subordinates understand the appraisal system. The appraisal system shall be explicitly described specific to the purpose of appraisals. Second, assess the effectiveness of the organization's current system. Managers and subordinates agree that the system upholds some functions while falling short in other functions. Third, appraisal skills training for manager is a must. Training must focus on helping managers develop specific appraisal skills and confident in their ability to effectively evaluate others. Skills should be included. A. Goal settings. B. Communicating performance standards. Letter C. observing subordinate performance. Letter D, coaching and providing feedback. Letter A, completing the rating form. F, conducting the appraisal review. Four, increase managers' willingness to conduct effective appraisals. 5. Start with effective performance planning. Number 6, make informal appraisals ongoing activity. Number 7, provide resources necessary to link pay to performance. A, changes in pay drive ratings, instead ratings driving pay. Letter B, does not allow for differentiation among various levels of contribution to